Would you do this deal? I'm looking at 70 acres for 300 grand. That's what they're asking for. It's got a little bit of a weird shape. You got a crop circle right here, power and road along the west side, and power poles in the northeast as well. So I'm gonna kind of break down how I would chop this up for a subdivide and how much I would pay and what the economics look like. So you got 70 acres here. The plan is to do 6, 12, 11.5 acre lots, and it would work out to look something like this. Looking at $1,500 a month for 120 months for these two fronting the road right here, and $1,350 a month for 120 months for these back pieces. Now the problem on this one is you got power and road along here, but these back pieces don't really have great access. There's a little oil field lease road back here, but the power is up here. So I'd have to run this power and either extend this road or build a road from the highway here to get back to these pieces. And looking at the economics, that becomes a problem. They're asking $300K cash, which at those numbers is not going to work. The yield is well under 30%, the annual return. My offer, $75K down to the seller, and then a $250K note for 5 years. Now, if you run this with no improvements on the lots, you're looking at about an 80% yield, giving them $75,000 down, carrying a $250,000 note for 5 years, and me selling those lots at the proposed values that I broke down. 80% yield. But we run into the problem with improvements on this one. One of the major things that you need to look at on these land subdivides is access. Everyone always wants access to their lot. If not actual road access, legal access for sure, platted into the deed. Always better to have a road, obviously. So looking at about $25K to build a road. And unfortunately, since these are gonna be no restriction residential lots or for people to throw down a shop or a yard or something, you're gonna need power. Looking at about $50,000 for power, about 3,000 foot of road, 3,000 foot of power. So that's 75 grand in improvements that I need to make in order to ideally sell these lots at tip-top value and condition. When I add in those improvements to the economic analysis, my yield drops down to somewhere around 39% annual return. As you guys know, I don't like to go anywhere under 40%. So this one is really up in question as far as, can I push these improvements off to some later date? Can I sell some of these lots without adding the improvements first and kind of do it in phases? Or can I have a situation where I maybe sell those roadside lots and sell a couple lots up towards the north part of the subdivide, and then have the rest of the land in the southeast portion just be unimproved and sell that for a cheaper amount? And so, you know, it really is going to take more research on my end and just more analysis on how I think I'm going to best be able to do it. But, you know, overall, you're looking at probably over $1 million in notes receivable over 10 years, which is obviously super valuable to a business and to any individual to put that on their balance sheet. So that is one huge advantage to this deal, is gaining those large amount of notes, but it may be at a lower yield than I would like. So would I do this deal? It's still up in the air. It's a great piece of land that I know will sell in just a few days. It's going to sell super quick, but the numbers might need a little bit more tweaking, and that's just some of the things that I look at when doing these land subdivides.